Hello and welcome back to another episode. Today something extremely cool arrived in the post. My little brother a couple of weeks ago put me on to one of these. It is the complete collection of the Mask cartoon series. The box set's relatively inexpensive. I bought it from an online store and it's just so beautiful to be able to watch these cartoons on DVD. Now I have to say, Mask is one of those hit or miss childhood memories. Lots of my friends from, say, school, university, other people that I know now who are roughly my age, some of them remember Mask, others of them go, what on earth is Mask? What is this name, this world of Mask? Why is it interesting? What's going on? What's the story? Well, according to the back of the box, the story is as follows. The classic 80s series is back. While investigating the mysterious death of his brother, Matt Tracker uncovers an international organisation known as Venom, dedicated to nefarious criminal activities in every corner of the world. Driven by his quest to know the truth about his brother's demise, Matt gathers together a number of friends like himself, ordinary people who possess extraordinary talents, and creates Mask. Their objective: destroy Venom and its mastermind, the abominable Miles Mayhem. I mean, the names are just superb. Mask is a sort of a phenomenon that was also partly designed to help sell toys, and that's actually how I actually came to discover Mask, is actually through the toys. It's quite a good cartoon series. It's very repetitive, and in many ways it's very much like Transformers. The stories often are over the top. They're solved in ways which are often biased towards the heroes, and obviously the villains are incompetent at times. But it's just a wonderful 80s piece of deliciousness. It's just animated fun. And also, actually, as well, incidentally, I think one of the reasons why it succeeded is because of the animation style. The animators, even though the toy company and the people behind the series were based in the US, they were using Japanese, either outsourcing to Japanese animators or certainly using Japanese techniques, so sort of anime-style animation to produce these cartoons fairly inexpensively. So the style kind of fitted in with the Transformers as well, and in turn with other forms of animation which I love. Now, my introduction to Mask, as I say, was through the toys, and there was this one toy shop back home which was just different. I mean, it's closed down now, and that's because it was different, and unfortunately you just don't get these types of stores much anymore. But it was a store which combined, I suppose, a comic books shop with a newsagent with a full toy shop, and also like a model shop as well. It was a really particular combination, and as you went sort of from the newsagent and further back into the store, you would find yourself in a world of amazingness. Especially as a child, you'd just be in awe of all these amazing, well, sights, but also the smell of the shop. It had a very particular sort of musty sort of smell. It was like a little Aladdin's cave, actually. That's what it was. It was Aladdin's cave. But the Airfix models didn't really get my attention all that much, and the other more, I suppose, the toys that you could get elsewhere were often overpriced because it was an independent store. So for me, with my pocket money, I didn't really go towards those, but I did levitate towards this shelf, or these shelves which had Mask toys on them. And I was asking, well, what are those toys? Because the boxes were quite interesting. They had these sort of an art style to them, a presentation style to them, which was sort of uniform from box to box, but also which sort of gave you a sense of the action that these vehicles would perform. And actually, speaking of which, I was like, what? That's a truck. How come? What is that transforming into something? I like Transformers, and I just had a desire to know more. And well, my favourite Mask toy is this one. It's a truck, the Bulldog, driven by Boris the Tsar Bushkin in the cartoon. Now, Bulldog, I'm saying it, sorry, in a slightly strange way, I'm aware, sorry, transforms into a tank, and you can see that his treads are revealed like that. The cab of the truck goes backwards like that, and this bit goes up like that. there's like should be a rocket that comes out of there. Boris is inside, you can put, and then two little guns come out the front, and then these are actually snow blasters, not exhaust, and there we go. So that is the transformation of the truck into a tank, and this fascinates me because it's not over the top. It's still very much obviously a truck which has changed, but it's got this cool stuff like the grips and the workable wheels. The fact that actually you can take Boris out of there and put him in there, and it was a very practical toy, but it wasn't like a Tonka. It wasn't like a digging tractor or something. It was still very much like the Transformers, which I knew and loved, well indeed still love today. So yeah, so the Bulldog is probably my favourite Mask toy. But why are they called Mask? Well, it's actually to do with, it's an acronym. It's a Mobile Armoured Something Command. I'll put it up on the screen. But actually also every character has a little mask that comes with it, and they can perform certain powers by sort of saying, in the case of Bushkin, I think it's like,
Comrade, fire! What's this? And
this sort of like stars comes out of the eyes of the mask. So everyone, the goodies and the baddies, they all have these masks, and it's kind of it's one of the gimmicks of the show. Is they have these sort of superpowers that are these mechanically engineered superpowers that appear from the masks. So that's the Bulldog. You also have, for example, here, I believe it's called Buzzard. It's an F1 racing car. But it's not. Push the button on the middle, built into it as part of, I suppose, some sort of headrest, I guess, for someone in the car. Two compartments come out. These are the bad guys. They're called Venom, and a gun comes out the front. Inside, you'll have the characters sat in there. So that's one half of the car. The other, I suppose, a third of the car disappears off to the other side. And what happens at the middle bit? Well, the middle bit is actually an aeroplane, and it flies away and does all sorts of evil machinations. And actually the back can be sort of like, I suppose, a hang glider for people to, if they're in this and it explodes, they can sort of glide somewhere. So it's again a really interesting, really creatively put together transforming toy. And I suppose to a certain extent that was the theme of my childhood, was toys that transformed. Me, my friends, my brother, everyone I knew wanted to have transforming toys, and Mask just sort of came along at the right time. It wasn't the most successful of these cartoons or of these toys, but it was certainly did the job. Now, as for the cartoon, I've been showing little clips of it here and there. As for the cartoon, we actually only had one VHS of this, and I think it had maybe 2 episodes, possibly 3 episodes on there. So most of the episodes that are in this DVD box set I've probably never seen before, and I've seen a couple of episodes on YouTube which people have put up there, possibly quasi-illegally, but I haven't seen most of them. But I can't wait to watch them. I really can't wait to actually see how they all fit in together. But the one that I remember the most from my childhood was, I think it's the opening episode of Series 2, I've since discovered. I didn't know this at the time, but the opening episode of Season 2, which is like a demolition derby, and that's when Bulldog turns up. You've got Manta, which is this sort of purple sports car, which also actually turns into a jet. I think Manta's around here somewhere. She's not there. I think she's up there on the shelf there. And also you've got Wildcat, who's one of like the main Mask good guys. He's the truck's called Wildcat. It's like a pickup truck, transformed into like an armoured moving platform. So basically, it's just cool. This is like a really cool, adventure-laden, toy-rich little universe, and of course it worked really, really well. You know, we all wanted the toys, and in my case, I was lucky enough to be able to scrape together the money to buy them. But as I say, my favourite has to be, and it continues to be, good old Bulldog, driven by Boris. And if you're interested at all in these toys, they're not overly expensive now. I mean, you can still get them, say, for example, on eBay. So definitely try and pick one up if you want. But maybe you need to do some research first of all by watching the cartoon. And if you see some episodes on YouTube and you like them, I could not recommend more than going the extra step and buying the DVD box set, because it's quite a nice little box set actually. It's well put together. It's a lovely 8-disc solid case presentation. So there you go guys, hopefully this has been quite cool, quite interesting. If you haven't heard of Mask before, give it a go, check it out, it's well worth it, and it was a staple of my childhood. Transformers, Mask, Mega Drive, and Batman, of course. I think those are the four pillars on which my sort of pre-teen childhood rested. Cool. Anyway, hopefully you guys have had a good time watching this, and as ever, until next time, do take care. Bye bye.